Okay, time now is 2:17 p.m. on August 10th, August 9th. We are 8 days away from departure. Yippee-ki-yay, 8 days away. I slept from 3:30 to 2. Wow, I know. I actually did wake up for a very long period of time between 11:30-ish to like 12:30, and then I eventually fell back asleep. So yeah, I slept a lot today. I really did, but it's very much worth it because I just finished the short film, kind of. Um, but anyways, a new day is a new dawn. I'm rejuvenated by that big sleep. I'm alive again, and yeah, the short film at the end turned out a little cheaper than I thought it would be because the two meals we had on the last 2 days, and also I didn't give Natalie any money, so I ended up saving a bit of money. But yeah, nonetheless, I feel like the short film was a success. I think it was fantastic. I think it's probably the most beautiful and the most meaningful short film I've ever made. And I don't know how the next one is going to top this unless I completely change genres. Like, in the artsy, nostalgic, slow, sad genre, I feel like... I'm not going to speak too soon, but I feel like I've reached a point where I'm done. Like, after this one, the next short film I'm going to make is going to be fast-paced. It's going to be funny, it's going to be angry, it's going to be wild, and I'm switching genres after this. Like, I'm done with this genre, at least for the time being, you know? So hopefully this one turns out well. Hopefully the IFVA finally accepts this. Hopefully this one wins several awards. If Objects in Mirror and this short film also win a bunch of awards and, like, get into film festivals, then, like, holy shit, next year, 2025, I'm gonna blow up. Fuck me. Okay, today, I do want to go to my mom's company's office later, simply because... Fuck me. Okay, oh my god, I might be sick. So, yeah, like I said, if both of these short films win a bunch of awards, next year, I'm gonna blow up, okay? I'm gonna blow up with so much success, which I'm excited to see. But, I'm fantasizing, I'm being too optimistic, gotta chill. Now, aside from one more shooting day, from now on, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my stay in this beautiful apartment in this beautiful neighborhood, okay? I'm going to enjoy myself, very much so, and it's going to be great. So anyways, a little bit later, I do want to go to my mom's company's office because I don't want to waste a single lick of time. I don't want to waste any time. I do not. So I'm probably going to go a little bit later, and then tomorrow, I can't believe it, but tomorrow I'm going to Haw Par Mansion, okay? I'm going to Haw Par Mansion, and I'm going to my birthday dinner, which is going to be huge, on the 11th. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go over my entire schedule for the next 8 days, because that's life, and that's... you know, c'est la vie, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so today I may go to my mom's company's office. Tomorrow is Haw Par Mansion and fancy Spanish food dinner, basically for my birthday. On the 11th, we have lunch with Nick. Tom may not be able to join, it's whatever. And then, we have Look Back, which I'm excited to see. On the 12th, we have, I'm going to shoot my final few scenes for The World's Not Enough. I'm going to go to the MTR and buy the Evangelion Blu-ray and Green Snake, which, oh my god, I'm losing so much money for this. But also, it's like, I won't be back to Hong Kong in a whole year, you know? And then Film 33 editing the documentary with Tova over Discord next Monday. Nadia saw snippets of it. She liked it. 13th, I'm going to spend the whole day with family. My mom's going to hang out with a Japanese friend of hers. More like a Japanese friend of my aunt's. Yeah, we're just going to hang out and stuff. That's a family day, in a way. But that day, maybe I could wake up a little early in the morning and go to my mom's company's office with my mom. That's a possibility. 14th, early lunch with Potter. 15th, lunch with Cedric. 16th, lunch with Pink. And aside from Potter, Cedric, Pink, and Leia, the only other person I'm interested in hanging out with is Justin T. To be fair, we could just hang out in LA. We're both around USC anyways, but I don't know. It's ritualistic, you know. You're in Hong Kong. If you want to go anywhere, just tap your MTR. Boom, boom, boom. You're there. It's ritualistic, so I don't know. I just got to do it. I already saw Natalie from LMU here, which is already glitch in the Matrix moment, you know. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I just need to take some time out to go to my mom's company's office. That or I don't know, sacrifice a day. I would like to jog one more time before I leave. I would like to. I think that's pretty much it. I would like to buy souvenirs for a bunch of people, right? And then that's it. My purpose in Hong Kong is over. I actually kind of want to try Hysan Place Korean toast, if it's still there, because I missed them out on the last 2 times I returned to Hong Kong. So Hysan Place Korean toast, please bring me there. That's it. 8 days, and then I'm away. Good day. Hokely dokely, time now is 9:58 p.m. on August 9th. Not counting today, after today, it would be official that I have 1 week left until I'm gone from this neighborhood. Almost permanently. And yeah, today is the rest that I very much needed, but it's also very plain, very quaint. I did see my dad briefly in the morning, but aside from that, it's just mostly me and my helper. I haven't seen anyone else. A very, very bland day. After lunch, I actually changed my clothes and planned to go outside to go to my mom's company's office to edit videos, because I thought, I don't want to waste a single second, you know, I don't want to waste any time. I'm probably going to go today for a little bit, couple of hours, and then on the 13th I'll go again for a couple hours. Yeah, by 3:40 p.m. I changed my clothes and I left. I went to the MTR, and I was even struggling. Before I left my apartment, I was at the front door of the building outside, and I was looking. I stopped for a moment and I was like, is this worth it? Like, should I even leave and go to my mom's company's office? It's 3:40. If I arrive there, it would be 4:30-ish. And the place closes at 6. So I would have 1.5 hours to edit videos. That's not that much. So am I spending nearly $40, or more like $30-something just to go all the way to my mom's company's office and back? So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going, because I don't want to waste any time. So I went to the MTR, and I took the MTR, and I was inside the fucking train, and it went till Quarry Bay. And then that was when I even texted my mom, WhatsApp my mom, and I said I'm gonna come to the office right now. My mom finally responded saying, prefer no, because I'm leaving right now. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go home then. So I left Quarry Bay Station, I walked to the other platform, and I just took a train back, and I just came back home at 4:20 p.m.-ish. So, and thankfully that only cost me $4, which is like 50 cents in the US. So yeah, that's it. not much else. I just came back home and then I just chilled. I mostly did nothing. Didn't draw, didn't do much, and I just mostly chilled. But it feels wrong because I have a lot to do. And the fact that I still have so many people, like so far out of all the friends I could be meeting, I've only met Leia. I don't think I'm meeting Natalie. I don't think I'm meeting Miriam or Zara because they're not even in Hong Kong. But I still have people to meet, so and things to do, and so yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, nothing else happened today. Very plain, very boring day. Yeah, once again, I'm very happy that I finished making my newest short film. I'm very happy about that. Not finished, but close to finishing. And it actually makes sense for me to go to my mom's company's office on the 13th because I need to return a bunch of equipment and stuff. So yeah, I believe I'm going on the 13th. If not, I can squeeze some time out. Maybe on the 14th, after I have lunch with Potter, or maybe on the 15th. Maybe I can squeeze some time out. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much else. And I'm ready to, I've been telling myself to find jobs, and email financial aid office at USC for the last 3 weeks, and I still haven't done it. I think I should do it today. Also, Naja finally finished the mixing for my short film, and there are probably moments that needs to be tweaked, but it's good to know that we have finally reached the ending of the post-production of Objects in Mirror. We're finally reaching the end of it. And now we're going on to the festival run, which is its own shebang. And I've never done that before. I've never had a proper festival run for a short film. And Ariel earlier this morning sent me a whole list of possible film festivals I could join. So thank you, Ariel. Holy shit, that's productive and fast. And wow. Oh my god. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. Not much else. Yeah. Oakley dokley. Time now is 11:23 a.m. on August 10th. 7 days. 1 week left. 7 days. 1 week left. 7 days. So yeah, frick. Okay, so I slept from 4 a.m. till 11. So that's 7 hours. It's actually not the greatest. I wanted to sleep earlier, but I had to wait for my dad to finish using the bathroom for a while. Anyways, here I am. Today I wanted to wake up a little earlier because I wanted to finish watching Priscilla, which I didn't finish last night. I also, today I'm going to visit the Hallpar Mansion, the place in Tin Hau that I've been trying to visit twice already. I'm a little bit nervous actually because I booked a tour and I'm scared that if it's a large group and then I'm in the group, it's like a tour group, then it's better. If it's just me and a tour guide, then it's gonna be awkward as fuck. So hopefully, it's like a group, But yeah, I'm finally visiting the Hallpar Mansion today. Now, part of me realized that I actually have a little time between Hallpar Mansion and dinner. So fancy dinner is at night around 7 p.m. maybe, and the Hallpar Mansion tour ends at 3:45. Say I leave Tin Hau and I return home at around that would be around 4:30. Now, I could go a little further because the thing is, I probably won't take a shower after Hall Park Mansion. I would just directly return home, wait a bit, and then leave again to have dinner. So why not? There's a little time there. Why not do some stuff there? Last night I also realized that I have multiple things to do aside from hanging out, such as I want to have a final haircut before I leave. It's not 100% necessary, but it's a good measure to do it. Also, I haven't really paid the barber, and it's a good gesture to do that. I also need to take some time out to make glasses, to buy my new glasses, because I lost a pair at Seattle, and then I realized that there's just so many fucking things to do. Like, I need to take some time out to buy souvenirs for friends, because I promised. I also need to go to my mom's company's office one more time. Like, there's so much shit to do. It's honestly kind of concerning, so I'm just trying my best to fill up things to do as much as possible. Yeah, maybe. So I thought maybe I could just buy the Evangelion Blu-ray and the Green Snake Blu-ray today, if I have the money. The thing is, I don't have the money. I either pay in cash or I pay in, like, numbers, and I kind of want to pay in, like, numbers, like, digitally, because the Evangelion Blu-ray, it's $1,700, like, holy cow. So yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure. But yeah, so yeah, and then another thing is, my mom and my dad still wants me to have one more meal with my grandparents before I leave. Which I'm down to, but again, I have 7 days left, bro. 7 fucking days. I don't know. So yeah, I genuinely don't know. So June 12th, I'm planning to film myself, but what if I wake up super early and film it? Then I would have noon to myself. Then maybe we could have a meal with my grandparents at noon that day. And then immediately after, I will have to pick up my Blu-rays. So, that could work, but it's a bit of a kerfuffle, you know? I don't know. And then there's the haircut, there's there's that. So I don't know. I woke up, so yesterday I didn't talk to my mom at all because my mom's already gone in the morning. At night, she returned home and she went to bed. So, and then I was going to talk to her about my schedule today, but she's already gone again. So I don't know. I'm in the dark here. We'll see. I gotta ask Justin T. I still haven't emailed the financial aid office. I gotta do that too. So, yeah. That. Nothing else. 上去啦就得。OK， 唔該。
往上周一道。頂樓電腦 rooftop floor。小心電梯門上升。
Oh, shit. We're here. Thank God they allow us to come here. 10 quarts of hell.
預算有幾多咧？係咁多啦。一陣間我哋睇咧就睇呢度咁多啦嚇。咁而呢度呢啲咁嘅亭台樓閣啊、七層寶塔啊、咩紀念碑啊、呢個室王殿啊、呢啲咧就嘅地方嘅，呢個樓梯咁靚嘅，又瓷磚又意大利水磨石。梗係去高級地方啦，即係去嘅住家嘅地方就呢度去嘅。咁呢條樓梯咧冇裝修冇石屎樓梯，而咧去到只係得埲牆啫。咁去邊度咧？我一定要示範下嘅。嚟到呢度咧，得埲牆咧有個架，呢個架一燙開咧，原來有個凹位就食咩㗎？ 就成熱辣辣嘅餸啊！咁樣咧就呢度咧就係一個樓梯嘅裝置啊，上面幾層樓梯嘅空間啦。咁呢個地方咧，我哋咧就建築上咧就叫呢啲叫梯井啊，只係咧係安置咧係啲樓梯啊一個通道啊，我哋叫梯井。咁樣依度進去咧，先就係正式嘅客人會客嘅一個廳，就喺度進去嘅嚇。咁啊，呢個梯井南嘅部分款，係啦。如果講兩巴咪十針絲啊嘅煙通嘅嚇。咁1936年嘅時候咧，其實香港都好凍，尤其是呢個半山，咁所以變咗咧，佢有需要咧係整啲開始咁嘅壁爐喺度嚇，咁佢哋暖暖地食嘢啊。咁我哋咧啲中國人咧最興嘅搬新屋啊、遷居啊，咁有啲老友嚟，因為以前咧啲欄杆矮啲，而家咧就一定要1.1米高嘅嚇。咁樣點樣合乎咧？點樣搣咧？咁啊，即係加個鐵嘅欄落去咧，或者加板落去，咁啊咪破壞咗佢啦，破壞咗欄杆啦。咁啊，我點樣可以分男廁女廁？係咪啊？然後咧有個呢個咧就正式馬桶，呢個咧就洗 pat pat 嘅。因為東南亞嗰邊咧，佢哋興㗎嚇，有地方有山嘅，所以咧呢兩個地方咧封咗嚟，因為呢度可以落到下邊㗎嘛，所以落咗我以前咧可以，但係呢兩個咧呢個就封咗。呢一座咧，而家做晒呢啲咁嘅豪宅啦嚇，所以冇咗啦。咁佢咧就因為咧。呢一紮嘢之中嘅主角咧，就係十皇殿啊嘛嚇，所以咧呢個十皇殿亦都被拆之後咧。
Okay, there goes the tour. Ended 5 minutes earlier. It's 3:41. Other people are also buying stuff here. This is hilarious. Everyone's trying to sell something. Just got the Evangelion Blu-ray for $216 US. Durian. Oh, 應該喺呢度。要撈一撈。
撈咗入邊係。
唔係，要撈多啲。
Which one you like? This part or this part? You can. Which one do you redo that? 你揾你嘅刀撩啊，here。
我就覺得嗌得太耐，
唔知咁大嘅 portion。
其實個沙律就已經
沙律已經好大。
係啊，
但係其實沙律嚟之後已經好細。係啦。
你睇下得唔得？我覺得第一幅好啲。
唔知喎 ，burn rice。
跟住。
Who brings a lighter to thing？ 唉。
special 呢個，好得意喎。
你知唔知我？
得啊得啊。
爸爸，你有冇點咗佢哋出嚟？你都唔知。
冇啊冇嘅。
你話咁
It was back in
哦，等陣，我食埋一嚿雪糕喎，溶喎。You ever?
Small, okay?
Okie dokie, time now is 12:36 after midnight. So today came in several parts, bits and pieces. First of all, I left my apartment and actually went to Tin Hau Hopar Mansion. I know that from my place to Tin Hau it takes about 20 minutes, but after arriving at Tin Hau MTR, it still takes a while for me to hike, to go up several flights of stairs after walking past a temple, and then I have to trek across a hill in order to reach that mansion. So I actually did, but I was late. The tour I booked starts from 2:15 to 3:45. And then as I was trekking through the hill, I read the email and it says arrive 15 minutes earlier. So I was supposed to arrive to that place at 2 p.m. I left my place, this apartment, at 1:30-ish, 1:35. I just choked on my own saliva. Frick. So I was late. I walked really fast, and surprisingly, I was pretty fast. It was a pretty fast hike, and I managed to arrive at Hopar Mansion at 2:19 p.m. I was 4 minutes late, and I was genuinely, for a moment there, I was worried that they won't even let me in because you know it's over. And it would suck because this is my third time trying to visit Hopar Mansion. I've tried to visit Hopar Mansion 3 times already. 3 flippin' times. Well, 2 times, but counting today, it was 3 times. But thankfully, as I arrived, the whole place was blocked off. I found a hook and a chain, and I lifted it, and then I put it back, and then I walked past the security guard, who was this old woman, and I showed her my email, and then she asked another old dude who looked at a list, and he saw my name on it, and he checked it, and then he talked to his walkie-talkie and said, "Hey, the reception just received a new guest. He's coming up right now." So holy shit, I got in. So I took the lift, the elevator, I went up, and then another woman, younger, saw me and was like, "Hey, are you from the tour?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Come over." She's like, "Come over." And then she brought me into the mansion. She's like, "Oh, the tour just started, but it's okay. It's just started." So I went in, and thank God that there's like a group of people. So I went into this mansion, went into the building, the intro spot, I guess, the entry point, the first room in this entire tour. And it's the main entrance, or not really the main entrance, but it's more like the entrance of the tour, you know. And it's like a group of about 15, 16 people, and some young, some older, some are families. And it's really awkward because I like going solo to places. I don't like going in groups, especially when I know 0 people in that group. So I don't like this, but at the same time, this is like the only way I could ever visit the Hallpark Mansion. So I said 0 words. I didn't say a word. I did take a lot of photos and videos though. So immediately afterward, they gave me a sticker, and the woman showed me like a board or a sign, and it has a list of rules like don't touch the artifacts, don't disturb people, you know, don't take videos or record. Oof, okay. But I gotta record it somehow because I went all the way here just to visit it. Like, I gotta record. But photos are okay. So the moment the woman said photos are okay, and I'm like, got it. Like, that's basically my exploit. So at this point, I'm already like an expert when it comes to secretly recording things. I am so good at secretly recording videos. It's honestly unsettling. So it was very easy for me to record tons of videos. I would turn on my phone and I would start recording, but I would put my phone down with my hand right beside my waist as if my phone is off. And then I would block the screen of my phone with something. Like, I would cover it up so that other people around me wouldn't notice that I'm secretly recording. Sometimes I'm taking a photo, but I'm actually recording a video. But none of the staff there noticed. So that's that. But yeah, so we went through the tour. We went through one room to another room to another room. I was already completely covered in sweat. I was sticky, sweaty, and full of mosquito bites. And the mosquito bites didn't stop. But yeah, I think I have at least like 10 mosquito bites around me at this point, around my arms and my legs. But yeah, we went from one room to another room. It's really fancy. It's really chinoiserie. It's very fancy schmancy. And there's this old dude who sort of talked about the origins of this mansion, how a couple of super rich dudes, their brothers, essentially owned this place, and how they would have feasts, and they would invite guests over, and they would do this and do that, and blah 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 blah, and that's it. And then the last half an hour-ish of the tour is basically the garden, which I thought would be way larger. As it turns out, most of the garden is torn down already. So I really wanted to visit. The main reason why I wanted to visit Hallpark Mansion is because of JoJo, because Hong Kong is featured in JoJo, and one of the scenes in JoJo is them, the main characters, in Hong Kong, and they visited the Tiger Balm Garden, and it looked really cool. But unfortunately, that spot is taken away already. But I still got to see what's left of it, and I'm still like the closest to it I've ever gotten. Given that there's a scene that's set in Tiger Balm Garden, it's likely that Araki himself has been there as well. But anyways, mission accomplished. It's actually fantastic, even though it does seem like that most of my stay in Hong Kong this time around, like the first 2 to 3 weeks, I've done nothing. It feels like I've done nothing but sleeping, eating, and having dinners with people and nothing else. I do have to admit that I've completed so many things I want to do in Hong Kong. Like visiting the Apichapon Wida exhibition at the M Plus Museum, buy more Blu-rays, etc., etc. So that's where the next thing comes in. So after the tour, I walked all the way back, trekked across the mountain, went down the stairs, walked all the way to the MTR station, right next to the Central Library, and Victoria Park. And next stop is the Evangelion Blu-ray. So this morning, I did a little maneuvering. I thought that maybe I can save some time if I tell the Blu-ray sellers to sell me the Blu-rays earlier, so that maybe I can do something more productive in the next few days. So I told both the Blu-ray sellers, and the Evangelion Blu-ray seller said, okay, sure, let's do the Gao Sell, like the collection, the transaction today. And then the Green Snake seller was like, nah, it's I'm not in Hong Kong, so fine, who cares? So Evangelion Blu-ray, $1,700. Holy shit. To be fair, I've paid higher prices for fewer runtime. Like, I paid $270 for Bakemonogatari. Right now it's probably 400, 500 at least. I paid $280 for Nisei Monogatari. Right now, I don't even know if it's on the market. The only Blu-ray I don't think I'll ever get, because the price is already off the roof, is Nekomonogatari Black. But aside from that, every other Monogatari box sets or parts that I've seen, I already have it on Blu-ray, which is insane, but also very expensive. Anyways, I digress. So, the seller and I agreed. So the seller actually called me earlier this morning before I left and said, oh, how about we do the transaction at Wong Tai Sin Station at 4:30? And I was a little worried that the tour will go over time. So I'm like, I'm not sure. Let's go a little bit later. And he's like, 5. And I'm like, sure. So he confirmed it with me 5 p.m. And he said he's going to call me a little bit before we do the transaction. So at around 4:15, while I was inside the MTR, working my way from Tin Hao to Wong Tai Sin, he called me and he was like, where are you? And I'm like, Chim Sha Choi. And he's like, okay, how about we do the transaction at Prince Edward Station, which is closer to Chim Sha Choi, obviously. So I'm like, sure. And he's like, we can even do it earlier. And I'm like, sure, that's great. So I went to Prince Edward Station, and oh my god, it's actually extremely interesting. When I was at Tin Hao, I already saw people like doing transactions, like giving money, selling things, and then I go to Prince Edward Station, and it's even more. There are a lot of people loitering around the customer service booth, and it's just people ready to sell things. People holding their wallets out, people holding paper bags. At one point, one bald dude came up to me in a white shirt, came up to me and asked me, am I here for the doll? And I'm like, no. And then a little later, another older guy came in and paid for a doll, like a collector's edition doll or something. So I waited a while, and the guy finally came. He's in a red shirt, red shorts, also balding, guy with glasses, middle-aged, almost, I believe. And he's like, hey, and he's very nice about it. So that's how you know he's legit and he's not selling me fake shit. So he's like, oh, this is like a very, a lot of people want to buy this. This is a huge item. And I'm like, yeah. So I received it, and he really trusted me, so he gave me the item first. It's actually I'm actually very curious about this. Like, how does selling work? Do I receive the item first and then I pay, or do I pay first and then receive the item? Because if I pay first, then the person receiving the money can just run off. If I get the item first, I can just run off. Like, shit like that does happen, right? But anyways, he gave me the item, and then I paid him $1,700 as discussed. And he's like, thank you. Let me know if you have other questions. Let me know if you want the films. And I talked to him a little bit about like details, like, so this Blu-ray doesn't have Fly Me to the Moon, right? And he's like, oh no, I'm actually not, like, I don't follow this series. And I'm like, okay. He's a scalper. He bought a bunch of these Blu-rays knowing that he's gonna have to sell them in the future. But it's fine. It's a pretty reasonable price for an out-of-print Blu-ray that's over 700 and something minutes of runtime, plus 60 something minutes, or I think more. I don't know, maybe 4 hours-ish worth of special features. This is great. And the reason why I'm getting this over the American Collector's Edition is because that one, not only is that one bigger and heftier, that one is also, I believe, like, doesn't have Laserdisc artwork. I think that's it, pretty much. But anyways, this is cool. I got it now. It looks amazing. And that's it. So, that's great that I got to do the transaction at Prince Edward because I could just immediately go home ASAP. So I arrived home at around 5:15. I didn't have time to take a shower or anything despite being very sweaty and sticky. And about half an hour later, me and my family left again. We went to Causeway Bay and we went into a Spanish restaurant on some floor at some building, and it was small, it felt a little cheap, and we're assigned a table outside, as in like at the balcony, and it's so hot, it's unbearable. So we went downstairs and we went to another building, went to some floor, and we went into another restaurant called Sabrosa. And it's much fancier and, as expected, much more expensive. So me and my family had the birthday dinner meal with me, and we picked the dishes, and honestly it's a really good meal, as expected. It started off with tapas, aka antipasti, aka appetizers. We had the chicken breast quinoa salad, which is really good. We have a deep fried anchovies with passion fruit mayonnaise, which I'm a little on the fence about, but it's not bad. There's also the soup. I ordered chorizo potato soup, which looked great on paper. Drink wise, eh. But what's the other antipasto? Tapas. It was a potato egg pie thing with Parma ham on top. That was really interesting. I really liked that one. Following that, we have one insane dish after another. Baby pork. We had that one served with gravy and pear sauce. Then we had this huge 14-ounce steak with gravy, fries, and salad. Thank God we didn't order extra fries. But we didn't know the fries come along with the steak. But I told my mom, let's not order too much. And then we had a paella, seafood paella. It was huge. And then afterwards, we even had churros. And my mom specially arranged the dish so that it would have like Happy Birthday Enoch 22 written with chocolate sauce. And it was 4 small pieces of churros. I'm pretty sure you can get churros for really cheap in LA. And also this steamy hot cheesecake, which surprisingly tastes way better than the churros. And that's pretty much it. And there's also a scoop of ice cream that basically immediately melted. But overall, it's a really satisfying meal. It's not perfect though. So far, my favorite meal of my stay here, this time the 4th stay in Hong Kong, so far my favorite meal, and probably will be my favorite meal, is the first meal I had in Shenzhen. Surprisingly, that one is a 10 out of 10 meal. The restaurant, the ambiance, but also the drinks, the tea, the service attitude, and the food quality, everything's just amazing. This one is good too, but I'd give this like a strong 8, maybe a light 9, but yeah. And then afterwards, we just went back home. It was late, and then after I returned home, it was like 9:30ish, but I wanted to play a film for the family, but my mom's like, oh, I'm sleepy, I don't want to watch it, I'll just go to sleep. And then we all go outside and have watermelon, and it's like you know what, let's play a movie. So I played the movie, and my mom's like, okay, we can watch half of it. And I was like, yeah, we don't have to finish it. But the movie was so good that we wanted to watch the whole thing. Even though the internet is terrible and we couldn't finish the whole thing because the website kept buffering. But the movie is hot fuzz, so there's that. So yeah, we have 6 more days in Hong Kong, which is incredibly sad. Not only 6 more days in Hong Kong, but also possibly 6 more days in Sai Wan Ho, this neighborhood. I know I just doxed myself, but at this point it doesn't matter anymore. This morning, my mom isn't here, but I told my mom, you have to be here because we need to discuss the rest of the schedule, because my 7 days, including today, is going to be insanely packed. Also, my fucking hair. Oh my god. So yeah, the next 7 days is going to be so packed, it's not even going to be funny. So here's what's going to happen, right? Okay, let me pull up the calendar. So earlier today, I realized that there's still so much more shit I need to do. Like, I need to go back to my mom's company's office to finish editing 2 videos. I need to go out and buy the Green Snake Blu-ray at one of the NPR stations. I need to have dinner with my grandparents or a meal. I need to have a final haircut. I want to hang out with Justin T, and I want to go shopping for the final time because I need to buy souvenirs. So, lots and lots of shit to do. So, first of all, Justin T. Just as I was going to DM Justin T DM'd me first. I love it when that shit happens because it doesn't sound like I'm initiating it. So I DM Justin T DM'd me, and he's like, where do you live? When are you free? So I explained to him, at this point, I'm only free either lunch on the 13th and that's a stretch because the 13th I have to hang out with my mom's family, or afternoon tea on the 14th or 15th. And at the end, we went for 14th afternoon. So on the 14th, for an early lunch, I'm going to have lunch with Potter, and then at night, we're going to have dinner with grandparents. And then an afternoon tea squash between Potter and my grandparents. Maybe not great. Justin T suggested 15th dinner. But the thing is, I want to enjoy meals at home as much as possible because it's my last week here. But there's truly too many fucking people I gotta meet and hang out with. So that's 15th. Yeah. And then, there's also going to my mom's company's office. I'm going on the 12th. Originally, August 12th is completely filled because I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna film the last few scenes in the short film of myself. That's gonna take up a whole day. And then at some point I gotta leave and buy the Green Snake Blu-ray, and then at night I need to be at home to edit the documentary with Tova, yada 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 yada. Now, however, maybe I'm overestimating how much time I would need to shoot the scenes in my short film, because here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Jesus Christ, my hair. I just can't fucking see anything. Also, I don't like the way my hair corners up. It's getting a little goofy. It's like this and then this. Okay, it's okay. Yeah. So, if I film the scenes to my short film with other actors so fast, I'm sure if I film myself, it's gonna be extremely fast. I'm gonna wake up hella early on the 12th to film those scenes. And if I get the Green Snake Blu-ray after 6 p.m., in theory, I could have a pretty hefty afternoon for free. So, I'm going to spend that at my mom's company's office. Simple dimple. 13th, I'm spending the whole day with my family and my aunt's Japanese friend who recently has come to Hong Kong. However, earlier my mom told me that the hangout is kind of canceled. The dinner's still happening, but the hangout is kind of canceled. So the 13th, miraculously, will be the final day I'll get a full night's sleep at Hong Kong. So at least I get to enjoy a pretty nice lunch here. I did consider spending lunch outside on the 13th, maybe either with Pink or Potter or whatever, but what's done is done. Like, I already set a time for Potter and a time for Pink already, so yeah, it's whatever, I guess. I don't know. I can actually update them. So 13th, dinner outside. 14th, lunch with Potter, dinner with grandparents, nothing in between. 15th, lunch with Cedric. I'm going to have a final haircut, that's confirmed, and then dinner with Justin T. 16th, I'm going to have lunch with Pink and perhaps final shopping. And that's the final day I'll spend in Hong Kong. And then that's pretty much fucking it. I still haven't emailed the USC Financial Aid Office. I'm going to email them right now. And that's it. Good day. Bye-bye. Okie dokie, time now is 11:58 a.m. on August 11th. 6 days left, guys. We have 6 days before I leave. I slept from 4:30 till 11, but I went back to bed and slept for 40 more minutes once again. Yeah, last night, while it wasn't that productive, I did draw, which is a huge deal because I have about half a month left to practice drawing before my art directing class starts. And last night I'm pretty proud of myself. I took a photo of my bedroom and I sort of analyzed the photo, like where's the vanishing point, where's lines, etc., etc. And I was actually able to sketch a pretty convincing photo, a pretty convincing image of my own bedroom. And yeah, it's not perfect, and yeah, I had to follow a photo, but with muscle memory and with the vanishing point, I think I can create something like that whenever I design other interiors. So this is great. This is a great first step. Yeah, I also emailed financial aid, though I highly doubt they will respond because I emailed them through like a support FAQ page. But that's the only place I could email them. Anyways, I'll investigate further. But yeah, today, something very exciting is going to happen. I'm going to be having lunch with Tom, Leia, and Nick all at once. And, yeah, we'll be eating lunch at Quarry Bay. It's going to be great. We're going to have lunch at Campers, which is the same restaurant I originally wanted to go to when I was about to have lunch with Natalie and Cedric back in the last time we met. So that's interesting because I know if I have to meet Cedric, it'll also be Quarry Bay. But anyways, yeah, we're meeting there, and I honestly don't have much time left. I'm gonna have a quick breakfast, and then I'm gonna have to immediately leave. Yeah, looking forward. Afterwards, I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna shower. I'm gonna take 3 showers today. I'm gonna shower once, rest, chill, vibe, eat dinner here, and then I'm gonna go out again at 7:30 to catch Look Back, which will be a soul-crushing cinematic experience for me. But it's crazy. Like, I don't realize how packed my schedule is. Like, one big thing is happening after another at this point. Yesterday we have the Hall Par Mansion tour. Today we have Look Back, and then tomorrow I have to film myself. And then on the 13th, it's a more chill day. And then 14, 15, 16, the last 3 days is going to be packed with hangouts. So, yeah. And that's pretty much it. Oh shit. Not only do I have to film myself, I also have to go to my mom's company's office. Today is Sunday. Oh, it is. Intriguing. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I don't have much else to add. I asked Victor once again if he's going to the Peggy concert, because I do want to go to the Peggy concert on August 23rd. Also, yesterday, I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna volunteer at the HKOS second film festival. Not only because I want to watch films, but also I want to just connect with other film-loving Hong Kongers, if that's possible. Maybe I could contribute to that place more. I don't know, but I had to fill in this Google form. I checked the Telegram group chats, and there has been no messages there since May this year. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of dead. And, you know, Hong, or the other, like, the CEO of the HKOS team, never reached out to me anymore. I guess after the woman yelled at me, I think she just expected me to never work for HKOS ever again. But honestly, quite the contrary. While getting yelled at is not good, I think overall, being able to contribute to screening Hong Kong films in LA is just too fucking awesome. And I want to get on the podcast. Bring me on the podcast, please. Yeah, and also, a couple of the screenings will be at USC, so what's stopping me from just walking over there and volunteering ASAP, you know? What's stopping me? And also, another screening spot is all the way in Koreatown, north of Koreatown, which is super fucking far away, but also if I take bus 207 up the Western Avenue, boom. Another location is Starlight Whittier. That's too fucking far. Good day. But otherwise, I do want to help out. I think that's fantastic. And I also told Natalie from LMU about it. I'm going to tell Justin T about it. I'm going to tell tons of people about it, and hopefully more people can help out, you know? So yeah. But yeah, I definitely do need some scholarships and some jobs and whatever. I definitely do. Yeah. But it's a good thing that I gained about, according to my mom, $10,000, 10,000 Hong Kong dollars by working for my mom's company this time around. And also I got back nearly $2,000 US for my school tuition fee. So I should feel a little less bad about spending money for both my short films this year, which by the way is already cheap as fuck. $1,200 for Objects in Mirror, $800 for this one, already cheap as fuck. It's kind of crazy how little I spent on this short film. But also the Blu-rays, which obviously at this point, how much have I already spent on it? Also about 2,000 something US. Fuck. But it's too good. But yeah. Ooh. We'll see. Excited for a look back today, definitely. Balls. 咖喱飯。哇！全部咖喱飯。咁另外。
Fuck. How am I still late? Okay. Fuck. Here we are. Can't be late. Can't be late for look back. I'm going. Cool. Huh. Okay, wait. Which one again? House 3.
Hello, my coconut muffins. Time now is 12:41 after midnight. Today might be the most interesting day of my stay here in Hong Kong thus far. And that's not saying a lot because this stay, the last month, has been one of the most uninteresting months of my entire life, I feel like. But today was pretty interesting. So I woke up and I heard my mom speaking English outside, and I thought, oh, my mom's at home. Usually I wake up and my mom's not here. So I brushed my teeth and I went out, and turns out my mom's not talking to my helper, but is talking to my aunt's Japanese friend. This 30-something-year-old Japanese woman, and she's just there. And I was not ready to meet strangers. It's the morning, so I don't like talking in the morning. I don't like talking to other people in the morning. I can talk to myself. So it's like, oh, you're here. Like my face was like, oh, you're here, but I'm trying my best to be nice and stuff. So I actually woke up really late. I left the bed at like 11:40, so after brushing my teeth and eating a quick breakfast, I basically had to immediately leave. So I basically immediately left. I went to Quarry Bay, and me, Leia, Tom, and Nick are having lunch at Quarry Bay at a restaurant called Campers. Surprise! I thought I would be late, but oh boy, I was the earliest. I was on the dot at 1 p.m. I arrived at Quarry Bay Station, and then Nick arrived. And then Tom and Leia took a little while. So it was just me and Nick, and right off the bat, Nick was like, wow, you walk different. What happened to you? And I'm like, really? It's interesting to see that the greatest transformation I've experienced, well, to be fair, a lot of people's greatest transformation also experienced over the college years, but I feel like my transformation is more significant than other people, because a lot of people mature pretty early, or not early, but like at a normal age. You know, a lot of people, by the time they hit 17 and 18, they start acting more mature. Now, it's again, like, what's the definition of maturity even? But it's like, I feel like, I don't know, I was really thrown into the wilderness when I went to America, and so, I don't know. And going into USC made me even more, I guess, independent. Like, I really have to
cook meals and do laundry and pay rent and meet people all by myself, and I became much more like independent, you know. Not much more, I've become straight up independent. All I need is money, then I could just function, like, you know. So, anyways, I and Nick, we walked all the way to the restaurant, and we're like 4 people. And I was the one speaking up, I was the one who went into the restaurant saying 4 people. Which, again, it's like, that's normal, I'm a normal human being, of course I would say words and do things, but like, more and more so today, I realize that I start speaking up much more, like, not only in conversations, but also like talking to the waiter and telling the waiter I need this and I need that. Which again, it's like normal, but come to think of it, I'm not usually like this before. Anyways, I and Nick, we walked around. Leia and Tom didn't arrive until much later. So Tom was like late for 20 minutes and Leia was late for 35 minutes-ish. And so I and Nick were just walking around, and we went to another store nearby and enjoyed the AC there. So, yeah, we eventually all met up and we talked and talked and talked. The usual stuff. It's actually interesting seeing old friends and having to talk to them about more basic general questions, because we're so unclear of each other's lives at this point. Like, Nick saw me and his first question is like, so when will you graduate, you know? Like, it's actually pretty interesting. And, you know, we proceeded to talk about our school lives, and I and Tom had a pretty good in-depth conversation about how exhausting it is to live in a foreign country. And Tom told me he went through depression. I don't know if it's like actual depression or just he was depressed, because hey, I was in a low point too back in April of 2022. I was dying inside. But then again, like, Tom was talking about how, you know, he was panicking at first and how he failed all 5 classes, and the fact that he was completely alone and had to deal with exams and studying all alone, and the fact that he had to deal with food and he had to cook stuff himself and buy rent and like buying groceries himself. Like, those things freak him out. And I'm so glad that well, yes, it's true, in the beginning those things also freaked me out, but it's been 2 years and I've fully adapted it. Like, I'm like a machine now. I go to H Mart, I go to Trader Joe's, I go to Ralph's, boom, 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 boom. Like, I'm not afraid of it anymore because it's routine. And in contrast, I think I have taken it better than Tom, like, for some reason, you know? And then we proceeded to talk about cars, and I was pretty quiet during that part of the conversation because I'm not really interested in buying a car or driving, even though driving is essential in LA. I'm just not really huge on it. Oh god, my hair. I need a haircut. Oh, and I'm filming myself tomorrow. Anyways, and then we talk, and our talk sort of ranges between like lighthearted and funny jokes to like deep talk, but there's like no transition between the two. So suddenly we would be talking about something deeper, we would be talking about something more lighthearted, and it's weird just constantly switching that way. At one point, so the thing is, like, Tom had a hot pot dinner with Bean Gang last night, and some other people as well, I believe. So Bean Gang basically includes Marty, AJ has a girlfriend now. I'm not surprised. At this point, anyone can have a girlfriend. He was also with Harry. He was with a few people. Maybe Topher was there. I don't know. Hans was there. Who, by the way, I don't think he's Hans anymore. I'm probably gonna give him a different fake name, but I'm still gonna call him Hans because I'm used to calling him Hans. So Hans, so a bunch of people. Hector was there. So they all had a hot pot dinner. Honestly, I haven't seen all of them for so many years. And you know me, I'm melancholic about this shit. Especially when it comes to old friends, or not, they're not even friends, like old classmates nostalgia. I said many times today, like, I bet they don't even remember who I am. And Leia's like, there's no way. I'm sure they do. They just don't think you're that important. And I'm like, yeah. But there's something kind of melancholic about it because I feel like I fucked up. I fucked up my first impression. I fucked up the way I act in front of them. Like, I feel like 2024 me would have been able to handle them really well. Like, I would be able to make friends with them, but also maybe not. And also, if I do somehow magically one day reunite with these people, I'm talking Hans and Hector and Marty and Natalie and Anne and Kingsley and Ronald and Ernest and Grant and Oliver and maybe Mary and some other people. If I reunite with them one day, I am sure that I'll make like pretty good friends. I'll be able to have conversations. But that's only because I've been to America and I've gone through training, or not training, but again, I was thrown into the wilderness in America and I had to learn the hard way how to socialize with people and make friends. So, I've come to a point where I can literally meet anyone in my classes at USC and I'll try to make friends with them even if it's difficult. So, yeah, sure, the 5 classes I just took, how many of them remain talking to me? Not too many, aside from Equo and Rachel, but I still socialized in class. So I'm sure if I was forced to reunite with these people from my past, I will have a conversation with them pretty easily. But that's fucking sad, because if they enjoy talking to me, they're not being kind to Enoch from 2018, Enoch from 2017, Enoch from 2019. They're being kind to Enoch in the present day. That's different. Because they have changed and they've matured and they're kinder and more accepting now, and I've matured and I'm better at talking and I'm more confident looking now. And unless I have a time machine and I go back in time and sort of undo my mistakes and undo their mistakes somehow, unless that happens, I will never be happy. And that's very depressing. That's a very depressing angle, but that's just the truth. And that is like all the loneliness that I experienced back in secondary school. I'll never be able to undo that. Like, even if they're like, oh, Enoch, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. We were classmates. Even if they say that shit, even if they act nice in the future, that's the future. That's not the past. What's done is done. The damage is done, right? And that's so depressing. So I told Tom and Leia, like, I'm not meeting Natalie in this stay in Hong Kong, 1 month and a week that I've stayed in Hong Kong. I'm not meeting Natalie, and I'm definitely not gonna see people like Hans or Hector, especially Hans and Hector. I don't know why, but I keep feeling that they don't like me, even though they probably don't hate me. But like, I don't know, I just always get bad vibes from them, and Topher, and also people like Kingsley, who the potato gang, they're on a different league. They don't even think about me. But like, I just keep thinking that people hate me, and part of it is like a delusional thing, and maybe I suffer from some delusions. That might be true, but I just don't know. But either way, I'm not seeing these people again because I'm protecting my own mental health. They may not hate me, but by seeing them, I will feel that they hate me. And so for that reason, I'm not going to see them. That's an insane thing to do, but if it protects my mental health, I'll do it, you know? So anyways, I digress. Tom had a hot pot dinner with the Bean Gang last night, and in the middle of the dinner, Tom was like, oh, I need some fresh air. And Tom just left the restaurant and like walked around and then returned a while later. And you know, taking a walk, taking a breath of fresh air, that's normal. But for somebody like Tom, it's not normal. Usually Tom is very energetic, usually Tom is very talkative. And Tom was, according to Leia, abnormally quiet last night. Leia was there too. And Tom also admitted that I was quiet last night. And that's because his life in Canada was, you know, slow-paced. Canada is spacey. Canada is boring. It's a new world. And he suddenly came back to Hong Kong and is approached with all these old friends. It's just overwhelming, you know? So he had to take a breath of fresh air. And I said, I understand. You know, I went to LA, came back, same feeling. But in my head, I was like, I have it worse than you, though. Now, again, it's not like a competition, but like, at least you have old friends, like a horde of old friends coming back at you. But for me, I have Cedric, Natalie, Pink, Leia, Miriam, and Zara, which is better than nothing. But keep in fucking mind that Natalie and Cedric are barely my friends anymore. I also have Nick. But keep in mind that Natalie and Cedric are barely friends anymore, with me anymore. They don't actively talk to me. And also, Zara and Miriam, if it wasn't for the very last couple of months of my school life, I wouldn't have been friends with Leia or Pink or Zara or Miriam if it weren't for the last 2 months. So, or maybe the last 3 months, I don't fucking know. So, truth be told, my loneliness in the past will forever dictate my loneliness in Hong Kong in the future. And yeah, sure, you know, I just finished making a short film in Hong Kong, and I had people like Chen Hua who helped me film. And, you know, I don't know, Natalie from LMU, I mean, she's an American character at this point, but also a Hong Konger. Like, yeah, they're Hong Kongers, but they're from the new era. People from the old era, people from the school, I'm invisible to them, you know? And it's sad as fuck. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but last time I went to the Taikoo City Plaza, CD Warehouse, before I had dinner with Leia, I saw a couple guys from C class, like 6C, 5C, 4C, and I don't think I've ever given them fake names, but I remember them and I remember their names. I'm just gonna say their real names now because it doesn't fucking matter anymore. One is called Lolo, who dated Cherry, fake name, and the other is called Kai Fong. And they don't remember me, but as I walk past them, of course I recognize them because I have a good eye. I think one of them turned back, but none of them thought of anything. And so that's it. And that summarizes how I feel about my old school life, and that is, it's just a lot of missed opportunities. It's not the real me, and I've ruined it, you know? So, anyways, that's that. Again, same with Oliver, who is like, I'm sure, like, he's friends with the Potato Gang and stuff, but he's also like a little bit of an outcast, just a tiny bit of an outcast, because he's skinnier and he's not as athletic. But I'm having it worse than him. At least he has Potato Gang. I'm having it worse. I have no one. At some point in Form 4 and Form 5, I had 0 friends. Just so you know, I had it worse. So yeah, there's this Instagram account that I stumbled upon, I think a couple nights ago, called Drug Fact, which immediately reminds me of Oliver's apartment, which the Potato Gang had dubbed the Drug Factory. And then given that Oliver and Potato Gang and also Mary also followed that account, I think it's Oliver who opened it, or somebody. And it's just like memes, you know, it's a meme page, essentially. A very young, new meme page. And again, it pains me to see old friends hanging out from the school. I mean, yeah, they're happy, but I'm just that petty. And also, I don't know, I just feel like, why do you deserve to be happy, you know? Shut the fuck up, you know? But anyways, that's that. So I and Tom and Nick and Leia, we finished lunch and then we walked and walked. So apparently Nick has finished his degree already. He finished studying his master's degree, but he's not graduating until December. Or more like he still has some credits. Tom is done. Tom just graduated and he's looking for internships now. And Leia's in a gap year, and she's planning to study in the UK for medical school. So everyone's in very different moments in their lives. So we walked and walked, and we walked all the way from Quarry Bay to Cornhill, and then we went through the NPR station and went up, and we entered City Plaza. Oof! The second time I've been there in this day, and I'm sure I'll return again. So we went to Taikoo City Plaza, and we just walked around. And as we're walking around, not gonna lie, no kidding, I ran into the PA guy and the actress for the short film that I just shot. And I think they noticed me first before I even noticed them. Because when I noticed them, they were already waving at me and saying hi. And it was like, whoa, oh my god. And that's awkward, but that's also pretty cool. It's like, I finally met enough people in Hong Kong to run into people. Because me running into people is pretty rare, but for some reason in LA I run into people more frequently. Like running into people I know. So this is a good sign, I guess. But this isn't even the best run-in of the day. So we walked and walked and walked, and for a little while we went through electronic stores and Jumpin' Gym, and like I started joking around with Nick. You know you're friends with someone when you haven't seen each other in like a year and haven't talked properly in months, and then you can still joke around and stuff. He's pretty much the same guy. And then we're like, let's sit down and talk. So we sat down and talked. We went to Starbucks, and Leia bought us all drinks. I think I have to pay her back, but anyways, I got like a matcha, a frappuccino. And then we just talked and talked. I told Tom a little bit about my story with Leslie, which is basically history at this point, but to him it's news. But I didn't even finish the story, but Tom was interested for a moment. As we're talking and talking and talking, suddenly Adam showed up. And Adam is one of the good ones, let's be honest here. Like, I've talked to Adam before, and he doesn't seem like a guy who would hate me. He seems like a nice fellow, you know? So, last time I saw him was actually December 4th, 2021, the fake graduation ceremony. Also, I guess, in my school life, the last day. And, or December 4th was it? Or was it later? I think, no, it was December 10th. December 4th was the day I just went there and drank lemon tea. December 10th was the fake graduation day. So it's been 2.5 years, more than 2.5 years since we've seen each other, which is quite a while, you know? But Adam just showed up, and I immediately recognized him, and he immediately remembered me. And it wasn't like greeting an old friend, it was more like just, and it's like very strange, because I forgot how I would usually act prior to DSE. You know, prior to DSE, I was probably like kind of quiet and I wouldn't say anything. Or maybe I would be elated and smile naturally. But this time I was like, hey, what are you doing here? And then he talked to Leia and Tom for a little while. And then he approached me and Nick. And he hasn't seen both of us for a long time. And he went up to me and he's like, Enoch, how have you been? Like, haven't seen you in so long. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, after the fake graduation, you didn't post anything on Instagram, and I just don't know where have you been. And I was like, what? What do you mean I don't post anything? Do you follow my new Instagram account? Do you follow my big Instagram account? And he's like, there's another one? So it turns out, throughout the last 4 years, he didn't even follow my main Instagram account. Because back in the secondary school days, I used an Instagram account, but I made that private and I basically reinvented my Instagram, started over. I know that isn't necessary. I could just erase every post I used to have, but it's just better if I start over, you know? It just felt better. So, turns out he never followed me. So he thought I disappeared. He thought I never posted anything, but I did on the main one. So, that's hilarious. So yeah, it's really cool. Once in a while, I would randomly run into one of these old characters. You know, I think last year or a couple years ago, I think it was last year, January, when I met Natalie. I also ran into Olivia for a little bit. At some point, maybe 2 years ago, summer, I ran into Sharon while I was trying to look for Cedric in the book fair when they were still together. And today I ran into Adam. So that's pretty cool. So Adam was nearby and Tom or Leia just told him to swing by. But that's pretty cool. But unfortunately, I need to leave in 6 days, so it's not like I get to hang out with them anymore. But Adam was like nice about it. Adam was like, oh, he's working now. He just graduated. Like, fuck, people are growing so old. He just graduated and he's working for an airline now. Not gonna reveal which one. I will forget about it anyways. And he said if he gets to fly to the US or whatever, I can go find him or he can go find me. So I'm like, yeah, sure, you know. And then he just leaves. So that's that. Again, that it's a little awkward because I just had a whole ramble about the past and people from the old world and the school. But truly, some people we can reunite and I can still have a very good conversation with them. And even people like, I don't know, I feel like the only people that I definitely will not have a good time talking to is Hans Hector and possibly somebody in the Potato Gang, like Edward. Like, God knows what's going on in his head. Like, I don't know. Potato Gang is more approachable though. Like, if it's one-on-one, it's more approachable. I think. But yeah. It's crazy how long it's been. Like, I haven't seen so many people. We mentioned Anne, and I'm like, Anne, is she still as small as she was when I last saw her? Jesus, Anne. I think it was like before the DSEs when I last saw her. It was before the DSEs. I think it was like February of 2020. Come on, it's been what, 4.5 years. Yeah. We also mentioned Sandra, who I haven't seen in so long as well. Because Tom casually made a statement saying, oh, you know, some people are nice, unlike Sandra. And I'm like, what about her? What about her? And Leah laughed, and I was like, isn't Sandra friends with Topher and Queenie? Because I heard Topher and Queenie are dating, which is old news already, by the way. Apparently something also happened with Sandra and argued with Topher. Like, so much more shit happened, like more drama, but it's so inconsequential and so boring and pointless and vapid. It's like nothing matters anymore, and it's so sad. But it's also kind of whatever. My drama now lies within, Santa Monica? Maybe USC? My drama doesn't lie within Hong Kong anymore. You know? I have no business here anymore. But yeah, that's it. And also, I'm not the kind of person who would argue, so I would never generate any drama. But yeah, so that was nice, and then we parted ways. That's it. We'll see Tom again next year. Probably. Next summer. And it's funny because 1 year doesn't seem like a lot. I was like, oh, see you next year. And prior to going to America, see you next year is like, fuck, a whole year? But now it's like just a year, you know? So anyways, that's today. Lots of thoughts. Again, the past is forever broken, and these people will never really see me for who they are. And Leia kind of understands, but she understands that through LGBTQ allegory, and she sees it as like, well, I was also experiencing the same thing because I'm a woman, but I used to be a male, and it's like I never truly expressed myself. Like, she understands that through the trans allegory, but it's kind of different though, isn't it? Because it's also about friendship, and Leia has friends, and I don't. It's also about that, you know? And, it's also about how, you know, I just feel like I fucked it all up, and now people won't remember me. I want to get a girlfriend, but even if I have one, people won't go, oh my god, Enoch got one. I wish people would have that reaction, and I know that's childish, and only teenagers would think that way, but I've never moved on from teenagehood. People have never been jealous of me. Maybe in America, hopefully, but in Hong Kong, I'm always jealous of other people, and people are never jealous of me, and I've always wanted people to be jealous of me. But I'm afraid everyone's already too mature to be jealous of anybody. And that sucks. I want to go back and make everyone feel bad, you know? So, it just fucking sucks. And I guess the only way there can be any sort of retribution to any of this is if I draw a manga or write and direct a TV show about my school life and bring back all of these characters to life as their young selves. So I'm gonna do that. That's the only way I could justify any of this shit. So anyways, enough gobble gibble. I came back home at 5:15, took a shower, and then didn't do much, and then around 7:20 I left again. The film Look Back starts at 8:15, and I thought 55 minutes is a lot, but no, it's not. For some reason I walked really slow, and I didn't arrive at the cinema until 8:19, and I was really scared I would be late. Turns out I was right on time. Oh my god. But yeah, I can't believe it. I'm watching Look Back, and I sat at the very front, but it's not too terrible. I had to look up, but it's fine. It's a 1-hour film. So, watched it. It was great. Wasn't perfect, but it was great. And, yeah. And that's pretty much it. And then I went back home. I got a poster and a paper, like bookmark. Truly inspiring stuff. Came back home. It was already like 10 p.m. Took a shower, had dinner. Here I am. And today was interesting, and might as well be the most interesting day thus far. Probably will be the most interesting day. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a happy day, but yeah. Anyways, tomorrow I'm going to film myself. I'm going to film a couple of scenes of myself. So that's gonna be a little tricky-dicky, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna wake up a little early just to do that. I'm gonna have lunch, and I want to push lunch until later because I want to hunger myself. I want to starve myself so that I could film myself shoving food into my mouth. And then afterwards, I'm going to go to my mom's company's office, and then I'm coordinating this with the carousel. So yes, I'm spending money, but hear me out. This is good. Physical collection is good. So I'm buying the Green Snake Blu-ray tomorrow. And we made a deal, 6:15 p.m. Leipzig Station. That's fucking perfect. He's available anywhere from Chunwan Station to Yamate, so Leipzig is in the middle, so that's good. So I'm gonna get off work at around 6:15. We meet up at the MTR station. Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. I'm gonna pick up the Blu-ray. I'm gonna go home tomorrow night. I'm editing with Toba. End of day. End of day. And that's it. And then the 13th, I get to have a full night's sleep, which is cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for today. I still have several hangouts. Pink actually asked me if we could switch the hangout to Wednesday night. Impossible, bruh. Wednesday, it's Potter, and then dinner with grandparents. Thursday, it's the 15th, I believe. It's Cedric, haircut, and then with Justin T. Friday, it's Pink, and then that's it. And then Saturday I leave, I believe. So yeah, clock's a ticking. Clock's a ticking. But yeah, nonetheless, the past is the past. The past is a dead man. The past is a cemetery. And I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to USC. I'm looking forward to, meeting even more people, taking classes. And I want to fall in love with someone. I know after Leia confirming for me what demisexuality is, I'm a bit more comfortable in saying that I might be demisexual, demi-romantic. I might as well be, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's just a label anyways. But I do think it is more difficult for me. So Tom also talked about his romantic life a little bit, and both thankfully and not thankfully, Tom still hasn't made it, and it's fucking sad. Tom is so talkative and energetic, yet, Marty, AJ, maybe Hans, I'm not surprised, have all gotten girlfriends already. Tom found a girl when he went to a J.J. Lin concert in Canada, also a Hong Konger girl. They hung out many times, and very nice. But as it turns out, the girl doesn't want to date until she graduates. And that's bad, because Tom is fucking leaving. So that was ruined for him. And then Tom asked me. That's when I started talking about my story. I don't know. I don't want to think about that. When I fell in love with Leslie, that was also a period of time when I didn't care much about romance. I guess when I didn't care much about it, it sort of just happens. But also, there's no correlation. But yeah, I don't know. I'm probably demi-romantic, demisexual. I'm probably, I don't even have that much, attraction to people. I just don't. Yeah, that's it.